It should be working. Okay. Sorry. I was making the posts and stuff. Here we go. It should work, I think. Are things appearing? Whoop, something happened. I am watching. Thank you for the reset. Welcome stream. Hi Key, hi Violet, hi Runic, hi Runic, hi Runic. Very much, hi. Welcome to the stream. Hope y'all are doing well. Yeah. Hi Bard. Hi. Ba, ba, ba. And here we are in the day of chattings, and maybe we'll play some games too, you know. Maybe I'll show Destiny Rising. Maybe I'll play some retro. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Volume out, Sarker. Hope y'all are doing well. Hi. Da 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 da. Is the music too low? Can you hear it? You might be able to hear it super low in the background. Maybe. I hope. It don't seem to be low. Give me a second. Unless it's already low by nature. Did Windows, like, save the settings from last time or something? I just saw my howdy popping out on the kick side, but I sent that like 5 minutes ago. What? Oh, it did save. Okay. It did save last time. The settings from last time. That was why. A little bit later. Oh, that's okay. Hope y'all the mad. I'm gonna put this here so it's easier to check and adjust. Here we go. Hi! Why is that howdy only now? How delayed was the multi-stream chat passing this to the thing? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Okay, I see why it was lower. I see why it was lower. There we go. It all makes sense. Hi, I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to the stream. Hi. Hi Joseph, hi. I don't know about the cute part, but you know, I don't think there's cuteness present, but yes. Hi. Trying something a little bit different. I can definitely tell some interesting things going on. Hello. But it's okay. Hi. And here we are to take over the world and stuff. Although in this case, the taking over the world is chatting around and stuff. And I suppose I want to talk about some stuff, you know, some few things. Some are very exciting. Hi, Cheetah Man. Hi. How am I still vibing? Green streaker raccoon trashy fam doing? Supposing I think you're doing well. We be chilling, you know. We be chilling. We just started. We're listening to some music and stuff, you know. It might be a bit low, but we're listening to some music and stuff, you know. Up we're doing well though. Sorry. Was adjusting my back. It's hot as hell today. What the hell? Da. Yeah, here we are. Da. Telling you, sure, you need to bring money from DDD to hack your computer to see damn lies. Oh no, yeah, I can show it. Let me show you. Let me show you. Wait, I need to switch the thing. Let me switch this, and then you can actually see what is happening. Never mind, this is the screensaver. That's the screensaver. Don't worry about it. The it's pretty much all pixel art with a few exceptions. It's all pretty much pixel art with a few exceptions. Just a little screensaver thing, going through some fancy schmancy pictures just to be cool and stuff. Did the frame rate on the thing really tank? I think it's just on OBS. It is fine if I look on stream. Okay. I should have joined sooner. Oh no, it's okay. Slap the baby say, that happened, it's okay. Hi Travis, hi, look on stream. Babysitting is also important. It's okay. It's okay. Da da da. Oh wait, where's my, there it is. I see something. Let me send this because, will you work? Thanks. Discord is being silly and not working. Either that or the mouse was, but I think it was Discord. I'm assuming it was Discord. I made some BBQ roasted potatoes and hot dogs and bread pudding. Nice. I'm a Jason hockey mask. No, I'm good. That's the spirit. You know, I'm cooking like an absolute king. Yeah. You be cooking. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Hi, Travis again. It's the other Travis. It's the other Travis. There's Travis's. 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 Upload for part of the stream. We need to get done before dark and it's getting dark. Oh, I understand that. Hope it goes well. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Half the music is nice enough and low enough that it's not, bothering or anything. Or getting in the way of what I'm saying. It should be fine. Hi, other Travis. There's 3 Travis. I see why your name is Travis 3. Makes sense. Wait, so you made all of these? No. I didn't make all of these. No. Didn't make all of these. No. Yeah, Travis guy's like everywhere. He's like 3 times at once. It's complicated. It's this thing. It's this thing. I didn't make all of these. No. It's just some that I like. And I put them here. I like so many more, right? But it's just a little thing, It's for the stream. Here's my stream. Here's my my actual front end to launch stuff on stream. It's this. There's games. There's things. I didn't finish setting everything up. Don't worry about it. Actual favorite. I like them all. And there's this one. Yeah, this one is a game, but it's here too. I didn't give it an icon yet. I literally added it earlier today, maybe? Do the things. See, the icon for applications here, I actually made this one. Or rebuilt it. From something. Why does that look like you? What? What does? Oh! The background! Behind the buttons! Yeah! That's me! That's me. That is me. And here is my office, to call it something. This here is my background with my office and stuff. That is also me. It is me. And it is me. It's me. All the maze. All the maze. All the maze is all here. On one side, the other side. Can't even see that my local time here is 3:47 a.m. I apologize for starting late. It should have been 47 minutes ago. But we actually, at the time I started, I was 30 minutes late. But now you know what happens, right? What happens? What happens? I don't know. What is it? Do tell. I'm curious. I am very curious about this. Yes, yes, yes. No Man's Sky is here, but we're not gonna play No Man's Sky today because I would completely destroy the stream. I still need to fix a few things to play No Man's Sky in the stream. I don't even know if this is gonna run on the stream. Now I'm robbing you for a screensaver and bad try bust chat with a cat. It's okay. No cap. I'm gonna build abs and go to sleep. Take care, Joseph. Get those abs going. You can do it. Yeah. I go. I can see. Up and say. Alright. Look at it all. Let me. Thank you for the lurk. The lurkinification. Yes. Lurkinification is a name, I guess. If it wasn't, now it is. But not yet, thank you. We be chilling. We be chilling. And talking things, you know. Maybe play some games. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Up or down? We be chilling. We be chilling. Oh. Sorry, I'm snacking. Oh. I hope it was a good nap. Oh. No. Naps in disorientation can be a thing. It's a terrible thing. Oh, your food comed. That makes sense. I understand. I understand. I never food comed. I mean, technically, I always have lunch and then go to sleep. I sleep during the day. Don't worry about it. So technically, I always food coma, but I never go to sleep right after. So maybe it doesn't count. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't count. Maybe it doesn't count. It probably doesn't count. Ate a big pastrami cheeseburger for dinner. It was so good about it. Okay, yeah, I understand that. I definitely understand that. I can see how such a thing would happen. in that case, yeah. I can definitely see it. Interesting. Hey, Nanny, hi. I can see. We be chilling right now, just chilling. We just be chilling and stuff, you know. Chilling, talking, stuff, and blah, blah, blah. I had this here because I was showing something, but technically it should be here, you know, because yes. Hi. It should have been here, but I was just showing something, so it was there. Thank you. It's my front end, you know? It's my stream front end. I launch things from it. See, I'm gonna go back to it. I can show you though. I'll show this the last maybe like 2 streams, you know, like you can go here, here's my stuff, and then there's also Steam. Not everything is here yet. You know. Do I describe? Maybe we can upset Steam from Alien vs. Predators, you know, more for Queen. Just defraud. Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. And then here there's other things, but it's more limited. The Destiny Rising is here, don't worry about it. We might play today. Maybe. I might play some Destiny Rising to show it off. Because I think there's a few misconceptions about the game. But I also want to talk about VR shit. I want to talk about VR things. Because there's things. There's no shit. Not that, you shouldn't take that down. You should show it more. Show it more. Sorry. I love this thing. I love this thing. I made it for the streams because I wanted things to have a retro vibe and stuff, you know? But yeah, there's things we need to talk about today. There's things we need to talk about. As a VR lover, and enthusiast, fan, fanatic, yes, there's new things, right? Because there's been leaks, and there's been patents. So patents are important here because of how Valve does things. We're gonna be talking Deckard. We're gonna be talking Deckard here. We're gonna be talking good shit. Hey yo. We're gonna be talking good shit. Let me show something here actually. Let me boot up the browser. Here we are at the browser. Here we are. And Google. Let's go to Google. Hi, Savage. Welcome stream. Steam frame. And here we go. So, oh, I got my gloves, Uni caps. I know they weren't your thing, but I love them. Oh, you received the Uni caps. Nice. How will they work? You know, it's not that they're not my thing. You know, I'm just more excited for the other ones, especially for the price. Oh, we're doing well, Savage. Hi. What is stream frame? Stream frame. All the stream frame. We're gonna go here. Steam frame. What is steam frame? I also want to go to sadly it's Bradley. This is important stuff, okay? You're gonna see something fascinating here. Say more later. I want to see the cool stuff. Oh heck yeah, okay. I just need to open a few things. It's Twitter. Sadly, it's Bradley. Ew, poop stain. I did. I had several actually already. I forgot that I need to open Google first. The way I have this. I definitely had my coffee. There we go. Sadly, it's Bradley. Here we go. Here we go. This is important shit, okay? What? What the hell? Okay, let's set this manual to English. This is what I did. I'm not gonna log in. I don't need to log in. I don't want to log in on purpose. This way it's like a clean slate of X and I just go straight into things to what I want because I know exactly what I'm looking at and looking for. So I just very quickly go and do this. So, what's happening? We're not gonna touch on that. Wait, I'm not seeing everything. Wait, why is there a post from 2023 here, followed by 2024? Why is the timeline going backwards? This one is pinned. That means I can see it regardless, which is fine. This is actually what I need. I needed exactly this post. This is the post I needed. It's pinned. Thank you, Brad. So we're gonna go for it, even if we're not directly logged in. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, it is trash that we can't view everything, because the timeline was going backwards. As we were going down 2023, suddenly 2024, like, what? But anyway, so, Steam Frame, and Deckard. Okay, this is two important things. Let me see if there's a picture. What? No, go away. I want to see a picture of the trademark. Steam Frame. I know that there is one of the specific. This is actually going to be interesting. Actually, we're good. Let's go. Okay, here's the trademark from Steam Frame. Okay, so let's begin the thing. So, trademarks were filed. We're all waiting for the Valve Deckard, as we've been calling it, or the Index 2. But then, suddenly, oh my god, these trademarks occurred, right? So, it's funny that it's two trademarks for the same thing, because I guess they want to cover all the bases for those trademark highway robberies, to call it something. And one, they essentially talk about the same thing, which is a device. They can do networking for multimedia playback, whatever kind of multimedia playback it can be. It can be wirelessly. Audio, video, text, whatever it is. That's basically what it's talking about. With controllers for video games. Okay. It doesn't actually mention the social aspect, but we're gonna get to that. Cue in the name being Steam Frame, and this trademark was filed right at the same time frame, frame, of this change in Steam VR. The beta had the following interesting, fascinating changes, where things were changed from overlay to frames. Okay. They started renaming things from overlay internal to frame internal, active overlay, active frame, and so on and so forth. They started changing all these things in the internal code of Steam VR, which is fascinating. Why is this relevant? Frames. Steam Frame. And then, where is it? Oh, right, I can't see that post by Bradley. It's fine. Let me see the replies. Dorime! See what everyone is saying. This will do. So anyway, let's go and click here then. Here it has what I need. So inside this Steam VR thing, okay, what happened? What happened inside the Steam VR thing? Alongside these changes, these models were there. Different. There were models that were leaked of these VR controllers alongside this controller. These are internally known as the Roy controllers. You know, Deckard, Roy, you know, from Blade Runner. That's what they were going for with the names, the internal names. And but the interesting part is these are no longer considered prototypes. Internally, these are now labeled as final production models. Meaning, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. It's all at the same time. So let's talk about these fascinating controllers. This is actually a bad angle, but don't worry about it. This is a bad angle. Um, is there another one? I wanted one that was okay. Yeah, actually, this is great. Here we go. See this picture is great. These are fantastic pictures. What's going on? We're talking about the leaks, the Steam frame leaks. Steam frame leaks. Okay. So, why is this important? Look at. So, if you're imagining that you're holding an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller or a PC controller overall, and the Xboxiness of them, that's actually, it's more PlayStationist of them. Valve was always more PlayStation designed in terms of their control orientation, which is great. In terms of how they work, they use the XIAB because squares and stuff is a trademark branding, but they position things the way that Sony does. Which is, curiously enough, also how Sega used to do it when they did hardware. So, you know, it's all connected. It's all connected. Why is this important? Because this is, if you look at this, it's literally like a gamepad. If you merge them together, cross, yes, it's next. Yeah, fair, if it was nice to be fatter. I mean, yeah. So, it's like you have 4 face buttons and a D-pad. This was never a thing. At most, you had a touchpad, sometimes not even a touchpad, and just 2 buttons on each side. That's it. You know, and the pressing in the analogs, that was also a thing, right? That existed, and it's here. but, this is more inputs. If we consider that the D-pad is essentially 4 buttons because of the 4 directions, we have 4 buttons on each side, not just 2. But there's more. That's not all. Let's go back here to this wonderful picture. What do we see here? These are the prototypes, but I've seen the new ones from the same angle, and it's the same. What do you see here? What do you see here? Look at the triggers. It's not just one trigger like we have nowadays in VR. No. That's not it. It's a full-on double trigger setup. Yes, it's a double trigger. I'm curious how this is gonna work exactly. Is anything a dragging? Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. How is this gonna work? Right? How touch sensitive these things are. If we go by the way that the Steam Deck is, and the Steam Deck is actually very much related in several ways, because this is all Steam OS. Okay? But this is crazy. So Valve is doing some crazy shit here. Absolute crazy, insane. Expensive, actually, never mind. No, it wasn't so much. Touch sensitive things have been a thing for a while. Even specifically pressure sensitive. But the main thing here is very likely just like the Steam Deck. Let's use the Steam Deck as a comparison for a lot of things because it will be relevant. It will be relevant. We actually have, if you're holding a Steam Deck or a Steam Deck controller like this new monstrosity here, which I'm quite hopeful about it. This is all connected once again. The Steam Deck has extra buttons here. There's 2 on each side, which technically um, are these two. Oh, right. Confirmed on the models. This is the thing. These Roy controllers, that's the internal name. We don't have the final name for them yet. Indeed, have this. They have straps like the index controllers. Um, Although they can be detached. You can detach them, but they are a thing. They exist. They are here. So you can use them like the index. They're just, here on your hands, and we're good. Um, Let me see if there's a. No, that's even older. I wanted the more recent Roy stuff. This will do. These are actually the more up-to-date Roy. Um, will they have touch sensitivity here? If we go by, let's use the PSVR 2 controllers as an example. So, the PSVR 2 controllers don't have finger tracking, but the triggers, all the triggers, and including the grip, kind of imply maybe they kind of imply that, yes, they kind of imply that, yes. So if we go by the PSVR 2 controllers, the buttons, the triggers, the triggers and the grip here are touch sensitive. So their entire surface detects where your finger is on them. So technically, you can do this, but it's only these two fingers. The ring finger and the pinky finger don't have a tracking surface, right? So there's a big chance that maybe there isn't a tracking surface in this, but considering it does have those things by default, there's a big chance that maybe the surface itself here, because let's face it, it's cheaper to have just finger detection for 2 fingers here and use the touch sensitivity of the buttons themselves for the other 2 fingers. For these are button controlled, these are touch controlled. Because even if you look at this index controller, do you see anything telling you that it's going to be finger tracking? No, the fingers are just there. It just knows, right? So, technically speaking, it's possible. This shit is not going to be cheap. So the implication is there, right? Since we have straps, we have buttons that are touch sensitive, maybe. But why is the patent and the leaks very specifically relevant? If we look at the time frame, it would. It definitely would. But again, we're just speculating because let's remember, they can frack the high stream. Up and down. Let's remember, these controllers here, this controller and the Steam Deck have touch. The touch could very well be here. It could very well be here. Just like it has touch on the buttons on the back. The buttons on the back also have a touch thing. So, it's all there. It's all there. But the main thing is, why is the name relevant? And this is something that Brad himself brought up. Which was, it's all just like Windows. Why does Windows is called Windows? Because the user interface is made of Windows. Like, makes sense, right? So, why is this called Steam Frame? Why frame? Because the overlays are frames floating around you. Hi Reaper, hi, welcome to stream! I hope you're doing well. Mind blown, I know, right? That's why they're changing the names, like in this example here, where they're changing Shopping for No Criminal. We're just talking about it, of all the leaks from VR stuff that came out this week, and there was a lot of them. The active frame and the frame internal is the active overlay and the active in the overlay internal, right? So they changed everything to frames because they're calling active frame, yes. So, because Valve has been working internally in the betas and it's been leaked because people keep uploading the beta of Steam VR with everything there and they just go back again and remove it when they notice it. It's like they've been working on overlays and a complete rework of Steam VR from the ground up, which we know it's been for this. Although this is happening more specifically in the SteamOS version of Steam VR, which isn't even supposed to work yet, but it is. Kinda is. So, because the Steam Deck is the one that has been having these changes in beta versions that we don't see because, development is the same. The Steam Deck is running SteamOS. So it's all kind of connected. And then the Steam VR and stuff just brings stuff out and we're seeing everything. But here's the interesting, cool kicker. These changes to the overlay system, like I said, has been going for so long. For a very long time. But here's the kicker. So, as you all know, SteamOS is Linux based, right? So, it runs some Windows stuff through translation. It basically translates what Windows calls to Linux calls. This is a very direct thing. It's still a lot because it is a confusing code, yes. Because we're just seeing a portion of it, right? So it makes more sense if you're looking at the entire thing, right? It makes a little bit more sense, but we still don't have the full context of the code. But it makes a bit more sense if we look at the entire picture of the thing. It's Valve speak. This is all Valve speak here, essentially. It's all Valve speak. This one may make a little bit more sense. Render legacy status bar. They're calling a few things that are what we have now as legacy. And Simon staring into computer brain. Kinda. You kinda are. We have no idea what a lot of this stuff is, right? Because it's variables, it has to do with stuff. But what matters is the names of the variables being used. Which is important. Which is, frame, active frame. They've been doing a massive rework. Things that are already in, like, it's already active. And if you hack Steam VR to force enable them, sometimes you actually see them working. Sometimes they don't or show full black screen because they're trying to display something to a headset you don't have. Of the STL models. Oh, thank you. Let me open this. Thank you, Bart. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. That is fantastic. Okay, let me copy the link of this picture here. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Bart. Thank you. So here's the render model, the final render model. This is already in Steam VR. If you trick your drivers for Steam VR to think that you have ROI controllers, these appear. These are detected. These already appear in Steam VR. Which is, goddamn fascinating when you think about it. That this is already in it, right? This is there. So that's why I'm saying we're close. We're like so close. Like we can feel it. If it's not the end of this year, oh, that early? No. If it's not the end of this year, it's the start of next. We are there. We can feel it. I can feel it. Holy shit. I mean, look at this one. Another one. Showing the triggers from the front. Here we go. There's the triggers. Yeah. The dual trigger thing. Huh? Isn't it cool? So this gives us, for the first time, full controls in VR. We never had full controls in VR. VR always limited the amount of buttons you had, which makes sense, right? But at the same time, then there were some things that just didn't work because you were missing buttons. You are no longer missing buttons. It's all here. No questions, it's here now. You have all the lovely, lovely buttons. Here's another view from above. Once again, thank you, Bart, for this. Thank you. Here's another one. See, the top. From above, here's the buttons. Working. Hey, fucking, hi, welcome stream. Here's a system button. I think, wait, there's a picture here that shows, yeah, this one here shows that there's like the Steam system buttons and so on. They're gonna be here. Because if you've all seen, maybe you've not, so let me show you a Steam Deck real quick. Google. In chat, Retro Arcade. Yes. Steam Deck. I want to show the controllers of the buttons of the Steam Deck. So I need a good, nice Steam Deck picture, like this one. Okay, here we go. Steam Deck picture. You can see that it's essentially like this, right? It makes sense. So you can see there's a Steam system button and a 3 dots. These are for extra options, right? So that's what these are gonna have. You're gonna have, the start and select got something like they're over here, which are these. There's one on each side. And then these round ones here, you can kind of see it over there. There's a better picture. There we go. Top link. Alright, yeah, see the system button. This is the 3 dots. This is the options button. And on, the other controller, on this one, you have the Steam button. You actually see it here. See, Steam. It says Steam. Can I open that? Let me open the picture. Bigger Steam. And then on the other side, it also says Steam, but it's the 3 dots button. This is 3 dots. Because this is a mock-up. This is actually an older version. Before it had the symbols on them. But you have it here. There we go. VR chat shows these, by the way. If, because Bradley was showing in a video of him inside VR chat during this with the controllers in hand, because he tricked the system into loading this as if he had Roy controllers, which he didn't, but he did it anyway. And you know how VRChat loads whatever controller you have in like this transparent energy glowy version? It loads. VRChat loads this. VRChat loads this in its glowy glory. So it's all there. It's all there. Everything is supported. VRChat definitely knows about this shit already. Okay. They know. They internally know Of course they can't talk about it. Your chat loves raccoons. I hope so. I get this. I hope. uh, hope you're doing well. So these are a thing. These are here. Uh, and it's essentially like they're bringing Steam Deck to VR. So more about the headset. This is important stuff, okay? We already knew or had an idea that it was going to have wireless capabilities. It was going to be standalone to a point, right? I'm doing so far, about so good. Well, I hope it gets better. You can do it. Believe. Believe in the me that believes in you. Heck yeah. Believe in the me that believes in you. And so blah, blah, blah. So the crazy thing that they're doing, because Steam Frame, Valve Deckard, whatever you want to call it, oh, I saw something appearing. I was like, wait, what? Believe in the raccoon that believes in the vagabond. You're damn right. Yeah. I hear that. Don't give up. Exactly. Be good to yourself. You can do it. I'm back. Welcome back. We're talking Steam Frame. And the controllers. And stuff. Oh, shit. March just sent me the STLs themselves, not just the pictures. Holy shit. Can I open this in Blender? Hold up. Let's load. Let me load Blender. Oh my god, hold up. Let me load Blender up. Hold up. I don't have Blender in my front end. I'm gonna have to manually load Blender. It's absolute nerd stuff, you have no idea. I'm so happy right now. I'm a doing it live. I'm a doing it. Once Blender finishes loading anyway. Okay, Blender finished loading. Let me bring Blender. Ignore this. You see nothing here. This is nothing. Okay? There's nothing. We saw nothing. Yeah. Hold up. I'm trying to load a thing. It's not working. Okay, it's working now. We're good. It's okay. I'm loading the models. I'm sorry. Because I forgot to save them all. Yep. Okay, I can import them. Awesome. Okay. Come on, browser. Load. Thank you. Let me save the ROIs. Thank you for letting me save the ROIs. Why is this loading a YouTube video? Shut up. Thank you. Oh, I accidentally closed one of them twice. Like an idiot. I opened one of them twice. Yes, that was a great plan. I meant to do that. I totally meant to do that. No, I didn't. I totally meant to do that. Absolutely. It was totally intended. Okay. It's here. They are big, so zoom out. Okay. That makes sense. I guess that does make sense. Okay, let me close that. File, import, because the STLs are probably here, right? STL! Yay! Okay, here we go. Got it. Do I have that here? I do not. Ignore this. You're not seeing anything extremely convoluted or anything. Oh yeah, it's indeed. Never mind. There we go. Say, let's open one and the other. Let's open... Right. It's a monumental thing. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Bart, once again. Okay, here we are. We are looking at this fantastic, brutal thing. Jesus. This is beautiful. This is sexy beast. Does it have textures in it? Of course not. It's an SDL. So here we are. We are looking. This is a very detailed SDL. Jesus Christ. This is a very detailed SDL file. But I guess it makes sense because you're gonna print this, so things need to be as accurate as possible. Look at the bottom. Oh, hello. Oh my Jesus, hold up. Is this a... Okay, so I can... Let's speculate, okay? We're gonna speculate here because I love to speculate. Let me open the other one. It's one hell of a leak. Yes, by Valve themselves. Let me import the other one so we can have left and right at the same time. Okay. Okay, we have left. Let me move left out. And we have both, each on its own axis over there. Contact pads for charging. One of them definitely is. I can tell you what this one is. Thank you for the follow, mommy. I can stream. I can stream. Hi. So, we'll look at this. So, I think what these are, I'm going to speculate here. Based on, this is reminding me something from the Quest 3 controllers. This entire plate here, this plate, comes off. This is a slide plate. This thing here is most definitely a charge, a contact charge thing. Maybe both even, but this here is an entire slide plate. Let me look at the thing deeper. Okay, it's not. Why do I say that? You know how I said that the straps are included? This has straps. The Quest 3, where is it? Where did I put the browser? Yeah, it's here. Okay, so the Quest 3 controllers. Google. Quest 3 controllers strap officials. Needs to be the official one. The active straps. Okay, so... Oh my... Piss off. Okay. This here. This. These are plates that, you know, Valve is going to give us something that is going to be a bit more than just a little Velcro piece. But basically, these slide off. I am certain the way the lines are, this is the release thing to make this slide off. You click, just like the Quest 3 controllers. You don't see it here. But on the side, over there, they also have a release button on top. You click, the Quest 3 has it here, you click, this slides out. You do not have a fake webcam. Wait, what? Hi Summit, welcome stream, welcome stream. I'm in the thing, I'm in my office, and I'm, you know, I'm at my computer, and we're talking and stuff, yeah. It's my setup. It's been my setup for a while. By a heat stroke, absolutely a heat stroke, yes. This is my thing. You should see when I do my streams that I'm doing in full body capture, and I'm actually in my physical office, replicated in VR, and I sit around in my couch and stuff and walk around. You should see those. Yes, we're talking about the leaked stuff. Hi, little boy. Hi, hi. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy. Nothing is fake. Everything is virtual. Everything is real, just in a different way, huh? Maybe have your entire office replicated in VR. So I can move around in it. Why do you have a full body VT? Why wouldn't I have a full body VT? VR in this case. Because yes. Expensive, yes. But I do. I am from the future. So I can have something to be depressed about not having. The headset, we don't know if it will have face tracking. What we can say about the headset is that it has eye tracking. Okay? The headset has eye tracking, which is connected with other previous leaks and data mining that shows that it does foveated rendering. What is foveated rendering, for those wondering? Let me see if I have guys show up. Foveated rendering, please. Oh, alright, I forgot. I need to go to Google first. Foveated rendering. I have an eye tracking headset. Power scale visor for. I have full face tracking in the headset. Yes. But what is. Let me see if this. Okay, here we go. Perfect. This is what I wanted. This exact picture. Thank you. What is foveated rendering? So, yeah, eye tracking and stuff, it's kind of common-ish, or becoming common-ish, because it's a rendering thing. So, when you're focusing on something with your eyes, you see clearly the center. There's a center area of your eyes where you actually see everything clearly, right? And things start to blend. That's so advanced, I haven't even checked. Oh, yeah. VR is like super advanced now. For DOF style resolution, yes. So, what it does is rendering the center area that you're actually going to be looking at in full resolution, and everything else like half resolution. And then it was forced. Alex Garland is trying to make an Elden Ring movie, even went and pitched it to. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I hope it's good. I hope. I don't have high hopes, but I have hopes. I have some hopes. Absolutely. Sorry, I missed it in the thing. AR changes. Hi, hi. I can stream. I do game dev, yes, and 3D stuff and so on. I'm actually talking about leaks from this from the upcoming controllers that got leaked. And I was showing them off and talking about them, and the new Valve stuff and so on, and the index and so on. Welcome stream, welcome day, hi hi. And I was talking about this. So with eye tracking for the Steam frame, Valve Deckard, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be used for this. Is it going to have face tracking? Steam VR has face tracking calls. Specific, open, face tracking calls for stuff, right? So maybe there's a chance, unless it's to support the few headsets that have it, like the Quest Pro and so on. But at least with the eye tracking thing, you can render an image at a progressively lower resolution by using foveated rendering. So this will be your focus point. Will be the full resolution, and then half resolution, and then a quarter resolution. because and you save so much VRAM in this, so things become faster because if something is rendering at a lower resolution, it renders faster. You're gonna be rendering everything twice or even 3 times if you're streaming from VR, but at least from a VR use case point. This is you're just gonna gain a lot of speed. Hey, Talon, hi, you got a Quest 3 here? Congrats! Did you know the Quest 3 supports foveated rendering, but due to not having eye tracking, it does the fixed foveated rendering at the center of the screen, at the expected focal point. So if you actually look around and the game supports that, the Quest 3, you look around, you see everything around the focus point blurred. That's why not many use it. That's why many games don't use it on the Quest 3 because it's fixed point. But hi, welcome, congrats! You got a Quest 3. You can do VR now. Yeah. Hope you're doing well, Talon. Hi. We were talking about things, leaks that happened in the controllers, and I was showing this and stuff. But yeah, so coming from me, very much, yeah. Yeah. So for these controllers, yeah, this is the release button for this panel to come out, and that's gonna be the strap. So you can use it without the strap, if need be. Probably also how you replace batteries, possibly. There might be other stuff. Knowing Valve, they like to make things modular. Very likely, when you remove this panel, there will be more stuff behind it. Maybe little access ports and so on, because the Steam Deck has a few of these internally. Very likely, that's going to be a thing. That's very, very likely. Even the Valve Index has little like USB ports on the headset itself that are extra for the face casket expansions and stuff like that. So, things happen. This is it. This is it. This is it. They went with a very simple and effective design. It works. It's small. Very small. But it's here. Yeah. Things we can talk about more. So, the idea that they're doing a different version of Steam OS for this thing, which is actually impressive. I don't know if Google has any for that. Google, do you have this Steam OS for ARM? Here we go. So, this is important. Let's go. So, as you can see, like in May of this year, something leaked, and SteamOS had ARM support. ARM is another type. Doesn't that run on ARM? Yes, it does, but this is outdated. Doesn't matter. It does now, but but anyway, why is this important and why is it interesting? ARM devices are things like Android phones and so on. Like the Snapdragon, the Quest 3, for example, is an ARM device. It's a Snapdragon. Sorry about that. I was cleaning my nose. So this is actually interestingly relevant because Talon is here and just got a Quest 3, so good segue into this. It's an ARM device. Uses Android OS, but they renamed it for Meta, the Meta OS, their variation of Android. Just like SteamOS is their variation of Arch Linux, with modifications. But the point is, ARM device. And we never really had a proper ARM Linux thing that could run anything decently because it's ARM. And ARM and x86, which is what commonly we use with Windows and and Linux and stuff, like your regular PC is an x86 CPU architecture. And this thing, this is going to be a version of SteamOS to run on ARM, like an Android device. And you're probably thinking, it's not going to run anything. Nothing is made for ARM. That's where Valve comes in. They just went full-blown mad scientist. Full-blown mad scientist. There's no other way of explaining this. They just went full-blown mad scientist. And did for ARM what they did for Linux with Proton. So Proton is a translation layer that translates Windows to Linux. That's why things work in Linux now, and Steam Deck runs Windows games and so on and so forth without issues. And it's all good, and it's fantastic, right? And Valve, in their infinite crazy genius, I guess, they figured they would do the same for ARM devices. And so what happens is that technically, if this keeps evolving, you're going to be able to play also other things that are Windows in any ARM device. Imagine installing SteamOS in your phone, because you can. Because it would be a possibility, because it's an ARM device. But in this case, it's applied to Steam Frame. So what's happening is, let's imagine you install, I don't know, let's say you install VRChat. Let's use VRChat. VRChat is a good example here. Let's say you install VRChat in your Steam Frame, because Steam Frame is going to be standalone with SteamOS, but it will also connect to a PC. Here's the big difference from Quest. When you're, for example, running something on Quest is going to be running a native mobile Android-based version of, for example, VRChat, right? And I'm sure there will be a version like that to run natively on the hardware, to use the actual hardware properly, but you're going to have the option of running the PC version of VRChat natively on the Steam Frame, because it's just going to have that ARM translation layer. It's going to translate Windows x86 to SteamOS ARM instruction set for the CPU, and it's just going to run. It's just going to run. It's like you installing Monster Hunter World. I'm not going to talk about Wilds, just World. Imagine installing Monster Hunter World in your Steam Deck and also in your Steam Frame. And you have your screen there, big screen in front of you, theater mode, but you're in VR with a big screen, and it's all running from your headset, not from a PC. And suddenly, this is what they're going for. They're going for a VR headset that can work as a PC VR headset, but if you don't have a PC, the PC is on your face. That's literally what they want to do. The PC is on your face. It's basically like having your Steam Deck on your face. And it does VR. Also. Ever play the game New Retro Arcade? It's gonna be fun for that. Is that what I think it is? I think I have. If I look at... Yes, I've seen it. Yeah, okay. It is what I thought it is. Yes. Yeah, the logo. Yep. Yes, it could definitely work for this. Absolutely. Yeah. Even other things like, MOVR. I don't know if anyone has seen MOVR. If not, I'm gonna show you now. You have your room, you know? And here you are, playing things. MVR is fantastic, it's amazing, it's great, and it's wow, you know? You have your room, you set up your room, you even have your guns and, you know, CRTs, and you can just do whatever, your room, and customize your room, blah, 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 you know? Put posters on the wall if you want. Why not? Put posters on the walls and you have your consoles. How you emulate the games is by actually, like, grabbing your cartridges and putting them in the thing. You go and stuff like that, or grabbing the CDs and putting the CDs in the consoles. And if you have the emulator set up, they just run. You know? In VR, like you're there. Does it have any limits? None, as far as I know. As far as I know, no. I mean, I guess the limit is how powerful your PC is. Because, as you can see, there was that image over there, that little preview, where the person is playing 3 games at the same time. Yes, multiplayer. Multiplayer works. You actually get a second... The person has their own avatar that appears in your room. So it's like the person went to your customized room to play games with you. Couch co-op style. But it's over the internet. Which is probably what... Yeah, it does that. It's here. I think it's one of the pictures shows that. Here, see? Netplay update. Here, let me play this. Netplay update, okay? And there goes the other person. See? There we go. They're talking there. They're replacing things. They're putting the things in, you know? There you go. And you're playing videos in the background, too. And suddenly it's 2 players playing next to each other, playing Street Fighter. Because why the hell not? You know? So, picture this, right? Oh, another person is arriving. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. So it's okay, you just go and play Turtles, because 4 players, eh? Or, yes, why not? So, you know, so imagine this. So, y'all know that Steam has this fascinating thing called remote play. As in the 2-player remote play? Share play. They call it share play. Right? You have a game, you run the game, and you share the second player seat with someone across the internet. You see where I'm going with this? Do you see it? Do you understand? You're in VR, in SteamOS, in VR, in your virtual space, and you're like, let's play a game together. It's a thing, you know? It's a thing. The hand motion, you know? And it just happens. It just works, you know? So, I think this is going to be an interesting thing. It's also going to have mixed reality things, you know? I think the big thing is we don't know the size. One thing that's going to have, this is a speculation, from Brad because of what he's been seeing is that the headset is gonna have a strap that has the battery on the back, much like the Pico 4. God damn it, I forgot. Google. Pico 4 Ultra. If you look, that's not. No, images. Thank you. Images. Okay, this is a good picture. See, this here, you can see that there's a little thicker area here in the back. There's a little thicker area behind the cushion, to call it something. Yeah, that's where the battery is. The entire backside will be the battery, most likely on the strap. Is it going to be modular? Probably, because Valve has this thing with modularity. Even when you open, don't do this, okay? If you have a Steam Deck, don't do this. But for those of us who are crazy enough to have opened their Steam Decks and have seen things, you will see that there's a lot of stuff there that is modular. It's all tiny modules. Hi, Gustin. Hi. Welcome to. Hi. It's all tiny modules. It's cool. It's things that if a piece of the Steam Deck dies, you can just replace that piece because it's all a single module that you put in. You can remove it, put another. Are you excited by me joining chat? I'm excited in general, so it's okay. Adore. Adore is very able. Thank you for the follow, Nice Acid. I can see. Hi. Soon it's gonna have this kind of strap, where the backside is gonna be the thing. We don't know how it's gonna be. Looking at new headsets. Hi, Emma. Hi. No, we were talking about this. Dun dun dun. Hope you're doing well, and congrats on getting your thingy back, Discord and stuff. Yay! Hope you're doing well. We're looking at the Roy leak stuff in Steam Frame. We were talking about it. I was talking about it and explaining how it's all gonna work, and the ARM stuff, and Steam OS for ARM running on it. And that's how it's gonna run. I was nerding out for the past hour and a half. Yep. I was nerding out about this. Talking about those are leaked Steam VR controllers. These are the Steam Frame controllers. These are the Deckard controllers. Final production model. These are the final production model. These are no longer internally as prototypes. This is it. This is it. They're already in Steam VR. If you have the beta, the Steam VR beta, and you can trick the system into making the Steam VR system think that what you have is the Roy controllers or the Steam Frame controllers. Instead of whatever you actually have, these appear. They're missing the ribbing. No, it's okay. It's here. This here, god damn it, didn't mean to move it. It's here. This is the ribbing. You can remove this. This is a plate. This is the release button. You click it, and this removes and comes out. For God knows what. We don't know what for yet. Except one thing. This is where the strap goes. The battery could be extra, access ports, little I/O ports, because just like the Valve Index had in the frunk, behind the frontal frunk, you could have that. It could be for replacing the battery, and there's another thing. Remember this. That's how these controllers are gonna have straps. These attachments. That face plate slides out, and others slide in with. Actually, I have pictures of that here. This. See? It's all here. This slides out. That, that piece there. God damn it. No! I'm clicking the wrong thing. Okay. These pieces slide out. These slide in. That's how it's gonna work. That's gonna work. Which is great, honestly. This is no longer called Valve Deckard as an internal code name, and most likely these are no longer the Roy controllers. These are the frame controllers, apparently. But they don't have a name specifically yet. But the Valve Deckard is now the Steam frame. I was talking about the findings and how every mention in Steam VR about the overlays got renamed to frame. Active overlay, active frame. Active overlay, active frame. Overlay internal, frame internal. It's like Windows. Windows is called Windows because it has Windows for its user interface. And Valve has been working, like, in the Steam VR betas, there's been a lot of changes internally that can't be accessed normally to the overlay. The Steam VR overlays are going to change completely. It's all towards this. And now they changed this from overlay to frame. And the patent. The patent is big. Because if we look at the patents and when they did patents and leaks and internal stuff that appeared in the betas, when the Valve Index was formally announced, was just a few months after all of this happened. The Steam Deck, same thing. It was finally revealed months after all of these things started happening and leaking out. So, it's all connected. Steam Frame is right around the corner. If it's not the end of this year, if it's not for December, it's going to be early 2026. And it's exciting. It's going to be very exciting. With its foveated rendering. I was just talking about all this shit. I was just nerding out with technical shit. I was just nerding out with technical shit left and right for the past hour and a half. It's a thing. And explaining even from a game development standpoint how everything is gonna work, right? Officially, have they said anything? Oh no. You know what they said? What they officially said? Which is very damning, and they just removed the stuff from beta. They went to the Steam VR beta where everything leaked at the same time as the Steam Frame trademark came out, and they just removed everything. So, that's the same as saying, yes, but we don't want you to see it yet. That's it. Yeah, they just removed the stuff. So it was like, oh. Not sus at all. No, not sus at all. Nope. So that's what they did. And I'm quite excited. Because these controllers, as you all can see, are very different for VR. At a glance, it's just VR. No. They have 4 buttons. There's a D-pad. Usually you get 2 buttons on each side. A start, and a select, and system buttons. And of course the analogs, right? You get way more here. Hi games, welcome stream! Welcome stream, hi. Hope you're doing well. and this is it. It's here. We got full controls. But there's more. Gloom. Gloink sounds interesting. You can't claw with a controller like that. You don't have to. You got 2 triggers on each button. You got R1 and R2, L1 and L2. You got everything. You got full controls. You don't need to claw. You got it all. Plus L4, R4. Hey, Melly, welcome to oh, pretty well. Finally. Gloink is a good thing. I think. I don't know. Sounds funny. Gloink. Gloink. Yeah, I was nerding out about this and looking at and showing off the linked stuff. You're supposed to hit all these buttons with your thumb? Don't you do that already? That's normal. Yeah, it's a normal thing. Looks like a combination of a standard controller but in a VR format, all for playing flat games in augmented world. Yes! 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 You can claw. You can. This is like a regular controller. You just bring your finger up. You know? Bring your finger up. These are essentially... Where is it? These are Steam Deck controls, but in VR controllers. That's it. So, again, this one is coming from Brad. There's something internally in SteamOS that does have a method of projection in 3D. It's there. Nothing uses it. Nothing uses it. And it's in the Steam VR theater mode. When you launch things in theater mode, it does have... Yes, Dadley Bradley. Yes, sadly it's Dadley right now, because he became a dad. He does say, like, Steam VR in theater mode, which, or something similar to it. With the changes, they're not fully available to us yet. Does have this sort of projection system, which probably would mean we would be seeing games that are usually flat with depth in this thing. It's there. The Steam stuff supports it, but nothing right now uses it, which is probably for this. It's probably going to be for Steam Frame. There's so many things. It's going to be ARM. It's an ARM device. It's something from Qualcomm. So we know it's some Snapdragon. Maybe a Gen 2, XR 2 Plus, maybe, possibly. We don't know for sure yet, but it's going to be Qualcomm. It's not going to be an x86. It's ARM. With a translation layer. China and Japan are spending with the projected screens, but nothing out yet. Yep, nothing out yet. And we're going to have, you know, Valve beating everyone to it with a VR headset. It's going to be great. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fascinating that, this is going to be a big thing, you know. It's going to be a big thing. If we look at the controls here. So this is the release button for this panel. This panel comes out for the straps, like I said. But Steam is trying to do it like SAO. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way, you know? That's the best way. Then we have the undersides here. You know, these undersides. They can be... If we look at other stuff, Bart earlier was saying that this is probably for ports, charging ports, right? The ones that you like set the controllers on it and they're charging. It's possible. Could also be for a lanyard, a little like lanyard thing. So it could be either. I could see that working either way. Either the charging ports or linear. Or both. It could be both. You just set it down the thing, blink, and it just works. I could see that. Um, we have the usual grip button. It's all good. We have the usual grip buttons. But we have so many more things, you know? So many more things. We don't even know if there's touch here or not to detect these fingers, right? We don't even know if these are here. Maybe. We don't know. Like with the Steam Deck, if you look at the controller, you can't tell until you move your fingers and you can think, oh, yeah, this is detecting my fingers moving. So we don't know. It would just need to do 2, which would be cheaper than doing 4. Or 3 in this case. Steam Index does 3. But this one has an actual grip button, which is an extra button. Just like the Steam Deck has 2 grip buttons on each side, this is a single grip button on each side. And in-house VR games, yes, they do. 1. 1. And it's considered one of the best VR games. So, which is Half-Life Alyx. It's indeed a really good game. Really damn good game. Yep. Half-Life Alyx. Who knows? Who knows? We're gonna be able to run Half-Life Alyx standalone with this thing. Because this is not just for wireless VR. This is a full-blown SteamOS system on your face. It's a PC on your face. You're gonna have SteamOS. You're gonna be able to access desktop mode and a virtual screen in front of you. You have the normal SteamOS stuff from, the big picture mode and games and the overlays, which are the frames. Think it'll be a face melter? I don't think it'll be too hot. I think with the way technology has gone, I think it will be a small thing. Not as small as the Beyond, because the big screen Beyond literally has nothing inside it except the optics and little else. So I can see it being like smaller than a Pico 4 probably. At most, Pico 4 sized, maybe in the Quest 3. The Quest 3 without the face casket might be that size. It could be as small as that. I think it'll be slimmer. I think it'll be slimmer than the Quest 3. It'll probably be the same thickness as a big screen Beyond. Allow me to perceive why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think maybe if you, because if we look at another company that Lord Gaben owns, which is all about brain-computer interfaces and so on and so forth, yes. I think eventually we're just gonna have the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch directly implanted into your brain from a device. And it's gonna be the Steam frame. We're gonna have a Steam frame taster app. Or just, interaction VR. Thanks to the BCIs. I don't see a problem, me neither. Directly into your brain. We're closer to SAO than you think at this point. We're closer to SAO than you think. Full dive. We're still far away from full dive, but at least for now. But having brain? Oh, sorry about that. Having a form of brain interface? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Don't you worry about that. That's the thing. It's just gonna get even closer to what we got. Even closer. Yep. It's gonna be a thing. It'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Be happy. Dun, 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 dun. Everyone can be as a waifu for one protagonist in the harem. I mean, if they're into that, sure. If they're into that. I prefer having the waifus and the husbandos. You know, I prefer the waifus and the husbandos than being a waifu. But you know, I can get them all. Ooh, this is a banger. Hold up. Wait, we got more? Oh, that's actually, that's right. Uh, Bart was sending me something. Can I flat shade this? Yes, I can. That's so flat. God damn it. Outlines. No, I am. I mean, I can just do this, and you can better see the thing. But Bart was sending me a better view of the thing. Thank you, Bart. Considering the at least there's the ports. There's the ports. The little ports on the other side. Um, considering the closest we have to these to compare, which are the Quest 3 controllers and the Quest Pro controllers, they're gonna be pretty sturdy. They're gonna be pretty sturdy. This will be a bit of a sturdy beast. Very sturdy beast. But you know, which is good. We want it to be a sturdy beast. To expose spores on stream, that's just it's very controversial. But it's okay, it's a leak. It's a leak. It's fine. There's a law that says that leaks are acceptable. Maybe. It's absolutely acceptable, so it's okay. Totally, totally. Believe me, maybe. Just maybe, you know, just maybe. I mean, if we were like, so if this is an STL, right? I show my person Twitch, they ban me for 5 hours. Why would you do that? And then I get partner. I mean, that's fair. That makes sense, actually. Like, if we're like, you know, in edit mode, this would be like saying that, give me a second. Let me select with this vertex. It'll be like, you can see the vertexes here are actually sharp style. Ish. It'll be like getting to these things and saying that these are an edge, which half shit. How was it? I forgot. Hold up. Mark sharp. And so when you're looking at the render object model, for some reason it didn't work. Anyway, it would be a sharp edge if this thing was not having a little aneurysm, but it's having an aneurysm and it's not sharpening the edge. But trust me. I think it's because the normals are all fucked. The normals on this are all fucked. But yes. These are sharp edges like here. Sharp-ish, you know. Sharp-ish. Like these in this thing. If you see without the actual shading around it, which is nice. This is so nice, you know. I like this. I like this. Someone actually 3D printed these. Thank you for the follow, Fantasy Gold. Welcome stream. Help and say, alright. Someone actually 3D printed these with the buttons and the analog stick assembly separate. So they could actually move the stick around. So they actually went through the trouble of splitting this up entirely. Actually, is that split by nature? Hey, Comfy! I got you! What was I? It's supposed to good, thank you. I'll put it on film. Oh, these are separate! Yeah, it's smoothing. Shade flat. There we go. Yep. Now it's sharp. We're good. We're good. These are actually separate, which is fascinating. That makes sense because these render models, these are the printable models, they are the STL files. But the render models, the ones that are inside Steam, like here, which are these, you can see that these parts are separate, right? Because the idea is that when you're moving, and Brad showed this in a video on Twitter, using the trick that makes Steam VR think that you're using the controllers. He was actually pressing the triggers, and this was all moving separately, and the analog stick and everything. So, you know, this is the thing showing that, yeah, these are all separate buttons. All separate buttons. The printable STL is just, you know, all in one, but it's okay. But it's all there. So many polygons here. Actually, a bit more optimized than I expected. It just looks very busy. It's all probably single-sided, I'm gonna guess. So each of these has 35,000. Actually, just one of them, wasn't it? If I do this, yeah, each of these has 17,000 polygons, give or take. Give or take. Not bad. Grand total of 35,000 with both in the scene. It's nice that these are here because I'm sure that peripheral manufacturers are already preparing and gearing up to have third-party stuff. I missed the last hour of Steam. Can you start over? That would be a lot. It's better if you just ask. You just, you know, ask along and I'll answer along and stuff. It may work better. Just a little bit, because... Oh, wait, it doesn't do anything. Hold up. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Jacques. Welcome stream. Welcome day. Alright. It's a heart, I promise. This is a heart. Yeah, see, here we go. You can see everything. But yeah, these are... Oh, let me see something. Yeah, this is a button. Internally, it's just a button. You can print them for me. Nice. It's evil. It's this new Steam VR stuff, you know. So yeah, these are the things. The evil controllers of Doom Doom. Wait, can I slip in? There we go. No! Put me out again. Put me out of the controller. I want to get in. Yeah, the way things are, yes, that would be yeah, that sounds about right. I'm inside the controllers. There's the grip button, as you can see. There's some dirty polygons here, actually. Hey, Seta, welcome to the stream. Up and say hi. Seta the silly, heck yeah. You're so cold. Oh no. Quick. You gotta get something warm. Have a hard time with blender controls. That makes sense. It is kind of weird. I use B for artists, which is a fork of Blender with sensical controls. You know, the industry standard controls that Unity uses, 3D Studio Max uses, Unreal Engine uses, except Blender. Blender doesn't use that. So B for artists makes that work. I use that instead of proper Blender because, yes. They still have some dirty stuff in here, like dirty polygons appearing. But that's fine. It's render models, not too many polygons that are wasted. For everything I use. Yep. Yep, that's why I use B for artists. Precisely for that. Ooh, Blender wanted to make a VTuber model once rather than new. No. How to texture. That would be a thing, yes. That would be a thing. That would be a thing. I understand that. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. These are pretty good models, you know? These are actually pretty good models. Very detailed, and these are the render models that you're gonna use, or that are gonna appear when you use the Steam frame. This is what you're gonna see in your hand virtually. Is gonna be this. Interesting things to note. We still don't know if it's the person else to use it soon on through my if we make it lighter now. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. So we're talking about foveated rendering earlier. So we don't know, you know, how the Steam frame headset is gonna look. We don't know. It's one of the things that we still do not have a preview. Some people are doing these funky mock-ups, mixing headsets and the Vision Pro and all that. It's gonna be black. It's gonna be black. Because it always is. It's gonna be black. But the fun thing of it is that earlier leaks from like 2-3 years ago. What if it's pink? If there wasn't a pink option, sure, absolutely. I wouldn't want it pink. I wouldn't mind it pink. Pink is okay. Pink is okay. And interesting links, the Bus Pro, the full feature rendering works just in UI. Yeah, games doesn't work in games because games don't use it. You can use it with Steam Link because, you know, Steam VR is essentially their own interface, so if you have it, it uses it. But games don't because games aren't even expecting it, so they don't use it. It's like, for example, it's like the Quest 3. The Quest 3, funny enough, supports internally its own thing, supports foveated rendering, but since it's just hilarious. But no one uses it on the Quest 3 because it doesn't have eye tracking. Could probably use it. Otherwise, the focus is always in the center. Hi, Daniel. Welcome stream. I like girl feeds. Okay, that's fair. Absolutely okay. Welcome stream. Welcome day. Hi, hi. There's no longer a secret. Everyone knows now. Everyone. The entire world knows. Immortalized in this VOD. Forever and ever. Your secret revealed for the world. Hi, welcome to the stream. Hope we're doing well. No longer a secret. Now what happened? Well, yes. Yes, essentially. But I was saying something and I got derailed. Shit. Foveated rendering. Quest 3 has it. Can't use it because it doesn't have the eye tracking, but it technically supports it, but that's why no one uses it on the Quest 3 because the focus would be on the front only. Quest Pro makes sense, but since pretty much no headset supports that, then they don't support that in games. So games themselves need to support it more than just the front end. Seeing VR front end, of course, supports it because Valve is smart. And pretty much everything they're doing supports foveated rendering. The issue is that foveated rendering is not a system level feature. Since it's not a system level feature, then you can't, unless you add it manually to your game or your game engine, it's not going to work. So what is Valve doing with Steam Frame, Deckard, whatever you want to call it? Foveated rendering is a Steam OS level, system level feature. So it's going to be there because it's system level. So it's no longer a matter of does the game support it, blah blah. No, the system supports it. It doesn't matter. It's there. The game just needs to use it. It's gonna be like, when rendering, use this. That's literally it. It's some pass in the forward rendering, because the third rendering doesn't work for VR, it needs to be forward rendering. It's just a pass somewhere in the forward rendering texture processing, because it's all like texture frames that are displayed. It's basically just gonna have to do the rendering of each texture per frame using that information, and then we'll use the eye tracking to know where the focus is to render that part at full resolution and everything else progressively lower. Usually in 3 steps, like it is here. It's usually like full res, half res, quarter res, or lower, and then you apply a blur. That's basically this. You know, that's basically how they do it. It's how the eyes work. You yourself don't see the same resolution on everything. Really botched their headsets today. The depth sensor can support it, but no eye tracking. As eye tracking. Yeah. You know what's the funny part? The Quest Pro did have the depth sensor, but they removed it. This is a thing that we know happened in development, because if you open the Quest Pro and you look where the Quest 3 has the depth sensor, the Quest Pro has the exact same hole. Yep. Yeah, I know you have it. It's there. The depth sensor hole, the slot in, is there. The board has the port for the sensor. Of course, people have tried actually putting the thing there and see if it works, but it doesn't because the Quest Pro software does not support it. Therefore, even if you have the hardware, you can add it, but it won't work. You can add it. You can add it in. It's going to be the exact same one that has in the Quest 3. You just slot it in. It fits. Hammer, make it work. Heck yeah. If only. And it'll work. It'll just work. It'll be fine. It'll work. And it's great. Except the software doesn't use it. But it's there. It's connected. It's working. The software doesn't use it. So technically it doesn't work. Because the software is not expecting it. It's like... Because the Quest headsets were not meant to be modular. They're modular by accident. So it's like... When you have... Oh, hi, music. Hi, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well. Hi. So it's like, you have the thing, right? You have the thing, and it's all by SKUs or hardware IDs. If it sees that something has the Quest Pro hardware ID, it's just gonna use the hardware that is expected. Hi, chilling at work. Great to see you too. Hi. Hope work is going well. I'm seeing a lot of things where a lot was an afterthought. Yes. You can tell. It's like, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. The Quest 3 has a bit in common with the Quest Pro. It's like the Quest Pro should have had the Quest 3 CPU, but it doesn't. Time for me to go to bed. Have a good evening. Hey, yeah, I love chatting about geeky stuff. Sleep well, Emma. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. It's like they wanted to cut corners. That's the gist of it. They were already working on the Quest 3 and the Quest Pro, and they released the Pro with a lower end CPU than the Quest 3. It's essentially the Quest 2 CPU, but faster. You know? And that was a wasted, massively deplorable choice. Like, the Quest Pro does color pass-through in the worst way possible. So what it does, it renders through, basically it does the same pass-through as the Quest 2, which is black and white. And then it has a third camera, which is dumb, monumentally dumb. It has a color. It has a third eye camera. That the only thing it does is perceive color. This is stupid at so many levels. Why? Because you're capturing colors, a color overlay, in 2D from a single camera, from a 3D perspective, black and white created thing. Yeah, so what happens is that you can tell the picture is a black and white picture with color overlaid on it. Because if you do the thing, like, both eyes don't see the exact same thing, right? So if you do the trick of doing, opening one eye, closing the other and stuff while you're looking at things from the Quest Pro, at times you can see that the color overlay does not align with what that eye is seeing, but it's aligning with the other eye. Because it's a single camera. trying to render color for both eyes. Things do not align. They do not align to both eyes the same way. And Quest 3 does pass through with proper color cameras with a higher resolution as well. So you have this cool thing where the Quest 3 is technically not pro, but it has the features and the hardware that is better. It just essentially the Quest 3 is just missing face tracking. If the Quest 3 had face tracking, it would be magnificent. It would be magnificent. But we have the Quest Pro being a really good headset with some questionable choices. It's still maybe one of the best headsets I've used and still use because it has a lot of good things in a single package. No add-ons, no things dangling out like the HTC Vive face tracker. I never tried it. The questionable choices, like the removal of the depth sensor and having black and white pass-through with a third camera for the color overlay, which just does not work correctly. You can try this. You can do this. If you have a Quest Pro, find what camera is the third color camera. Cover it with a finger. You cover it with a finger or with whatever, and suddenly your picture is black and white. Because it doesn't have color information. Because you're covering the color camera. It's so dumb. So dumb. Yeah. It's just so dumb. I don't know what they were thinking. They used the Quest 2 pass-through cameras for the Quest Pro. And this just put a third camera overlay. Color camera overlay on it. Which is the third camera just for colors. Why? Fuck if I know. Fuck if I know. But they did. Ignoring these questionable choices, the Quest Pro is a really good headset because it's an all-in-one. It has face tracking, has eye tracking, without dangling add-ons from your face. It's all in headset, which is great. If the Quest 3 had that, it would be fantastic. It's a problem because, VRChat had native face tracking. Yeah, I do wish I knew it had face tracking and eye tracking long ago. Yep, I understand that. The VRChat native mobile client had face tracking at one point. For the Quest Pro, they had to disable the face tracking. They had to unsupport it because face tracking was causing the game to run like ass on the Quest Pro. It was running worse than on the Quest 2. The Quest 2 has a weaker CPU clock speed than the Quest Pro. Because the Quest Pro didn't have the horsepower to use the face tracking. Because it needs to be processed, right? There's CPU cycles are taken up by the face tracking. And it just ran like ass because of that. So they disabled it. They just disabled it. And I'm like... The Quest Pro should have had the Quest 3 chipset. It could have. It just doesn't because they're dumb. They should have. The Quest 3 came out so shortly after the Quest Pro that it was like they didn't even know what they were doing. So, yeah. Yeah. You know, it's complicated. It's a complicated thing, you know. They kind of self-sabotage, and they were like focusing so much on productivity in their marketing when they should have been focusing on social aspects because you have face tracking on that shit. But no. Foveated rendering? Yes, let's focus on this. No. They just dropped the ball with Quest Pro, which is a pity. With the proper marketing, which was very poorly marketed. Like, you didn't even, like you're saying, you didn't even know it had face tracking and eye tracking. They didn't advertise it. It was there. So if I make a VR game, I should make a headset just for it and make it so you can't play it in VR unless you have a headset with still use the VR. Yeah, no, just use Steam Frame. Yeah, Steam Frame is gonna answer your prayers most likely. I don't think it has. It has eye tracking. We don't know yet if it has face tracking or not. If it does, it's gonna be interesting because there's entries on again Steam VR beta stuff, and this was mentioned. I forgot where I saw it. It was something that Brad retweeted or something. From a leak again. That Steam VR does support some face tracking by Valve that has more blend shape support than the usual 54. So I think right now face tracking is made with a combination of 52, 54 blend shapes. They just, and there's more. Basically, the Steam VR implementation of that, the native one has more. So people are speculating that maybe that means Steam Frame will have face tracking also, using this expanded, potentially more expressive face tracking because it supports more blends. So there's that possibility. If indeed the Steam Frame supports face tracking, not just eye tracking, but face tracking, and everything we've seen so far is exactly how it's gonna be, it'll be expansive, okay? It's gonna be expansive. But it's gonna be the best headset ever. At least for now. You know. It's gonna be the best VR headset ever. There's prototypes of it that had compatibility with base stations, even though it has its own tracking, but it, like, prototypes internally had these little diodes on the faceplate. Like, let me, the mouse turned off. Okay. Like, let's look at this picture for. So imagine that this is a thing. Like, there were like light diodes all over that prototype to make it be compatible with lighthouse systems. So, you know, if you had lighthouse, this would be still compatible with lighthouse. I do a thing and try using my Connect and a pole to attach it so I can add face tracking. You can use your phone for that and desktop because in the next VRChat update, if it's not out already, the whole thing that VRChat does of using a webcam for face tracking, yes, that's gonna be possible already. It'll be very happy and very heavy. Imagine. Yeah, the selfie expression, whatever they called it, for desktop use, is in the thing. It's in the thing. Will now be available for everyone. Yes, they can use that. And it's gonna be very interesting. Very, very Interesting. Yes, yes. Because you can even take pictures of the whiskey now using that. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Um, so, it'll be super heavy. But yeah, this the Steam frame. This is not the Steam frame. This is an Apple Vision Pro. So ignore this. Ignore this. Okay. Pretend this is not there. There are no pictures of the Steam frame beyond this. This is all we know. This is all we know. These things. That's it. We know nothing else. We know they're black. We know they're black because the render targets, the render models, I mean, are in black. Not this. Here? Yes. They're in black. There we go. They're in black, so that's what we know. These are older models. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think you see. They're black. They're black. They don't have the branding, but they are in black. That's a lot of VR. That is a lot of VR. Yeah, these are the things, the cool stuff we got. The cool things. Oh, here's a prototype. Is this the prototype? Yeah, the prototypes with patch, like the Steam Deck. That's crazy shit. That's just insane. Don't do that. Don't do that. These make more sense. And even then. It is here. With everything. Yeah, they all have touch. All the buttons have a touch. Except there's no trackpads on that we know of for now. Only for now. Only for now. It's a thing, like there's stuff is going crazy. Stuff is going what? Stuff is going crazy. In this thing. But it's good. It's fun. It's great. Things are happening. Things are happening. And it's exciting. Very, very exciting. And these things are starting to appear and people are seeing how here's examples of the multiple stages of the controller. At one point, the controller had the Quest 2 ring thing around it. There's multiple versions as it goes until we reached this, which is this. These are these, but these are colors. These have colors, but it's these essentially. Which is nice. Nice. I can imagine because Grok does do some special shit from time to time. Grok does do some special shit from time to time. So that makes sense. I'm gonna clean my nose, give me a second. Ah, here we go. And it made a cursed thing. I'm going to assume. The Steam frame stuff. I can imagine the cursedness. The cursedness. All over the place. Yeah. It is the thing. It is the thing. The thing is here. I shall close Blender now. I'm a close Blender. Don't save. Not half bad. Hey, I'm sure it's fine. Heck yeah. As long as you enjoy it, that's what matters the most. What are some of these things here? Hey yo. Hey yo. Anyway, we're gonna close this. Oh, love it. And we're back. We're back to our front end. And we're back to the evil front end of Doomy Doom. You damn right. Buy all the things. I mean, we were talking about it for 2 hours and a half, which is interesting. There was a lot to talk about. There was a lot to show. That's great. I am very excited. I'm very excited. Because this can mean really good shit. It can really mean really good shit, I think. I think it's going to be great. You did miss 1 hour, yes. You did miss 1 hour. It's okay, the VOD is there. There's a lot was probably talked about during that 1 hour. There was a lot. There was a lot of things. But I think you got the gist of it. Of what I was talking and stuff. You got the gist of it. Of the foveated rendering and so on, and the capabilities it has, and eye tracking and so on. And it's gonna be standalone. It's gonna be cool. Glad there's something. I meant to that. I think at this point, if Valve isn't taking risks, no one else is. At this point, that's the gist of it. Microsoft is like massively risk adverse to a fault. Um, and Meta themselves, they're so data driven. They just see numbers. They're going by numbers instead of letting things naturally grow and experiment. That is just, it's not gonna go anywhere. So, mind you, in 4 years we'll have the X VR headset. Probably. Yeah, Rishad tells everyone what to do with VR. Valve is the vanguard to try it. Everyone else just sits back on meta or fights it for max gain. And it's like, well, not really necessarily VR chat. VR chat just goes with what people are doing, right? It's the platform. They can only support what is supported, in a way. Everyone is just going after Valve. Valve does something significant. People go after what they're doing. That's literally what they're doing. But like you said, yeah, Meta was just trying to perfect it for max game. That's it. If they wanted, like, the Quest 3 to be the actual contender for the Valve Index, success. You've done that. They did something that is half the price of the Index. It is a better headset. It doesn't matter what people say. It's a better headset at a fundamental level of what's there and supports hardware-wise. Is it actually, like, preferable? Maybe not. It's still a better headset. It has its own issues. It has its own set of issues. But, it's the thing. But then this Deckard, or Steam Frame, as we have an actual name for it now, is it going to be good? Oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. And more is going to follow from there. Stream Elements just spoke twice in a row. That's not common. Hello. Hi. Huh. It's gonna be an interesting thing to see how it all goes from here. I think. I think it's gonna be very interesting. Let's see where everything goes from here. Should be interesting. It should be exciting. Very exciting. And it's probably gonna be around the price of the index. Expect maybe more, like 1200. It's a rumored price that's going around. I don't know based on what, but it's the rumored price going around. It's gonna be 1200. So look forward to that price point. Look forward to that price point. Absolutely. Oh, the screensaver triggered. Okay. Screensaver kicked in. It's a thing. Oh. So yeah, definitely, let me go back to the stream thing. You're still seeing the screensaver in the screen in front of me? Because it's a screen that is directly in front of me. It has that. Does that make sense? Yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Because it has potential and all these things we're seeing. There's a lot of potential. And I want to see the potential realized. Yeah. It's going to be great. I hope so. I certainly hope so. Oh, one can know. Next 10 years will be interesting. Oh yeah, I think there's gonna be some big leaps in stuff with this. I mean, really. There's gonna be some very interesting leaps. How do I stop Steam from taking in-game screenshots every time I tap click back? It shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. The stream shortcut for screenshots is F12. So unless you're pressing F12 every time, that shouldn't happen. That is really odd. That doesn't make any sense. Unless you're pulling the stream overlay. There is a button there for screenshots. Unless you're clicking every time to go back and disable the hotkey. Because you didn't disable the function itself. That shouldn't be happening. That is weird as shit. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can actually disable the feature itself, but maybe. Because you can disable the hotkey, unless there's like headpads. That's the Windows combo. Could be, maybe. Because, I mean, they're just all tabbing in, right? Or clicking on the window itself. That's kind of weird. That is very weird. Well, I don't use Windows 11, so I wouldn't know. Screw Windows 11. Windows 10 evolves into Bazide. It's super effective. Dun 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 dun. See 10. That's it. 311. Aha. Aha. Imagine if you were still in 311. It was stable at least, you know. It was at least stable. I will give it that. Which is a good thing, I guess. Wow, I still have the floppies. That's a thing. That's a blast from the past. That's a blast from the past. Imagine. I may still have some floppies for something. I have a collection of them somewhere. I'm sure they don't work anymore. I don't think I have anywhere to read them anymore. So, there's that. As well, I kept them just for the walls. I understand that. I understand that. Did you know that the ZX Spectrum floppies were not floppy at all? They were just called floppies because of those old floppy drives. They just kept calling them floppies, but they're not floppy at all. The ZX Spectrum diskettes, as they were called. Those were sturdy monsters, Jesus Christ. They were sturdy monsters. They made like the regular diskettes for Windows and DOS and stuff just look flimsy in comparison. The ZX Spectrum ones were beasts. They were just indestructible monsters. Comparatively speaking, of course. Wonder if I can show a picture of that somewhere. Maybe. I messed up. I messed up. I'm an idiot. Silicon floppies. Yep. They were still not as hard as the ZX Spectrum ones. Let me go to media. Let me see. Go, God. See if I can show this. Spectrum Biz Cat. Did I? Yes. Come on. Have pictures of this monster. There we go. It was these monsters. They still call them floppies, but there's nothing floppy about them. There's nothing floppy about them. They were hard. They were thick. They were hard. They were thick. They were a thing. Look at these things. 13 discs one time. Added this level. Oh my god, that's terrible. Jesus Christ, that's terrible. I had this thing. I had this, exactly this. The Sinclair's ZX Spectrum 128K plus 3. I had this thing. Thick. Thick. I don't have it anymore because I'm an idiot. I regret it so much. There's so much regret. So much regret. Look at these things. Look at these things. So much regret. What the fuck is that? Oh, see, okay. Yes. Yep. These were things, Should dig out of my old age AF and take it back. Absolutely, you should. I regret everything. These are, see how thick this shit is? See the monstrosity. The monstrosity of thickness. Like 1 pound. That makes sense. Okay, the ZX Spectrum was super advanced. And there's now the ZX Spectrum. Next. Which is this. I wish I had a next, honestly. The next is amazing. Nostalgia thing. You know, nostalgia thing. It supports more up-to-date stuff, backwards compatible with everything from before, and it actually supports more colors on screen. Well, there's a few modes to use more colors on screen correctly. So it's actually, you can do some interesting stuff in it. Faster CPU and so on, blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. I made this from back in the day in the display, so seeing things never saw. Yeah, that's understandable. That is understandable. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at that. Look at that. This is the Spectrum, but next. It's using the next things. Here's Way of the Exploding Fist. This is fighting games back then. Fighting games back then. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this shit in hands now. Look at this shit in hands. With the next. It's a thing. You know? That's a thing. I've seen some shit, you know? I've seen some shit. No need for regret, though. You want regret? Add web TV. Shut the first computers took up a warehouse. Yep. Those were a thing. You know, vintage VR headset. Behold! VR! But this thing, I've used this. I've played this thing. I've played this. I was fortunate to play this. Card box on that, yep. And he was at Tech and let them know I had the worst web TV. Parents refused to give me a PC for the longest. That is nefarious. Let me tell you that. That is nefarious. This thing, I played this. I played this. Clearly dangerous. I was raised in boredom. Molded by it. You were molded by it. Yep. I played this monstrosity. It was terrible, and I loved it. That's what I played. It might be similar. There were multiple setups. There was a red setup. Here's the red one. Here's the red setup. I played the red one. I played the red setup of it. When was that made? 90s? Early 90s? Very early 90s. Very early 90s. Not 1920. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. No, VR treadmill's not that old, but VR is that old. Here's the first VR headset. Yeah, that was there to keep you from falling, yes. Because some people can get nauseous. Look at this. This is from the 50s. 50s. Let that sink in. 50s. Ready Player One style. Yep. It kinda is. It kinda is. 50s. The concept of trying to do virtual reality. Look at this. Look at an old VR headset. Look at this shit. Should find it and test it, yes. I think it had no specific names, like VR headset. Good question. Look at this thing. You had to have this entire... You were hooked to this harness thing. Even be able to comprehend cyborg puppet. I know, right? That's literally it. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. You know? Look at that. It's impressive. That's impressive. Because, it's interesting. The resistance is futile. You damn right. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. See, it's amazing. This is fantastic. Look at this shit. Oh wait, no, this is the version I played. With the yellow headset. I remember that. But it was this. With this. At least I think it was the other one. But it had the cables like this one. So maybe it was this one. I'm just misremembering. I gotta fix my delay. You're good. There's always some delay, especially when doing multi-streaming. There's an added delay to it, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Look at the Sega VR headset. This shit was for the Sega Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. 1993, ladies and gentlemen. 1993. Yeah, that's it. Sensorami, right. I can install a candidate name to create a fully immersive experience, simulate all 5 senses. Yep. That was VR back then. My connection slowly gets more delay over time if I refresh my page. Oh, shit, okay. That is bad. I can see that. I can see that being a problem, yeah. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. It looked so futuristic. It looked so futuristic. Look at that shit. I love it. Yeah, me too. I love this. It's crazy. Dallas Fears in 57. God damn. I love this. Is absolutely bonkers. But it's great. I love it. Because you can tell they already had ideas, right? But of course you couldn't do anything. Look at this. Huh? Look at this. 2 LCD panels. Huh? 2. Revolutionary. 2. Did you know the Quest 1 had 2? The Quest 2 had just 1 panel for both. It was just wide enough. And then the lenses, it was like essentially half. You put your head in a box. Yep. Sensorama was a head in a box, yes. Or in the future when people are looking at our current VR gear like, this is what Mr. Streaming. Yeah, that's gonna happen. We're looking at this as the beginnings, right? And they're gonna be looking at like... They're gonna be looking... We're looking at this. See this? The way that they'll be looking at the Beyond, what's it called? The Beyond 2, for example. They're gonna be looking at this the way we looked at the other one. Yeah, the big screen. Yes, big screen. Yeah, see? They're gonna be looking at this and be like, look at that thing, look at that thing. The way we look at the other one. It's gonna be very similar. The size is even comparable. Small size, eh? It's gonna be a very comparable thing. Very comparable thing. I mean, look at the sizes. They're literally just goggles. Fuck. It's gonna be impossible, of course, but it's the brain chip and no headset. That'd be amazing, eventually. I mean, we close our eyes and that's it. You know? We're gonna get there one day. We're gonna get there. We close our eyes, we're in VR. Sword art stuff, yeah. Imagine if the Steam frame was this, like this size. It's gonna be impossible, right? Because it's gonna be standalone. So, but imagine 30 years, maybe less, maybe less. Trappy VR, let's go. It might be less. It might be less. Oh, sorry about that. It'll definitely be less, I think. It won't be necessarily like this, I think. But, we can hope. You never know, right? We'll make things hard for a while, I think. 20, I can see 10. In 10, we're gonna have the first prototypes of it. The ones that have issues and bugs and maybe things don't work as intended, but those brave enough to try it will see the future, much like, you know, much like those things. Much like this, preschool art project, maybe. It's like, where was that? The thing from a moment ago? We're gonna be looking at these monstrosities. These were the pioneers, people who dared step into these machines, like me. And dared dream, seeing absolute crap quality, because that was shit. But I was so happy trying this, because I was looking ahead. I was seeing, oh, this is gonna be so amazing when it evolves. And look at us now! Look at us now! This was surprisingly less heavy than it looks, because the weight distribution for the monstrosity that this thing is, the weight distribution was perfect. It didn't tip on your head. It wasn't out of balance like some headsets now are. This was perfect in terms of balance on your head. It was great. You could move it like this and actually be fast, and it would just work. Sakat VR needs sword. Yes. It just worked, It was great. It was great. Good times. Look at this monstrosity. But despite the monstrosity that this is, the weight distribution is fantastic. There we go. There's someone wearing it. Look at that. Look at that face of happiness of this person. And yes, it just, the front just lifted on this thing. It was great. Look at this face of happiness right here of whoever this person is. They're just very happy to be there. Like the cops from... Oh shit, you're right. It actually does look like that. It does look like... Nice. I didn't even think about that, you're right. That's what it looks like, yeah. Absolutely. Look at this thing, look at this thing. Look at these things, look at these things. They're so happy. Look at that. Such happiness. Such happiness. Good times. Good times, But you know what's the real vintage VR? You all know what real vintage VR was. These things. You just put that in your face, flip the thing would flip. With this rotating thing that have the images on it. It's your VR to take it places. Then going to make the world we talked about, which has been sick. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I had one of these too. I think I still have it somewhere. Actually, the times. It wasn't not kaleidoscope. Um, I forgot. I forgot. But that was it. That was it. It was great. Yeah. So yeah, it's just I'm a big VR enthusiast because this is what was already there, and I saw a lot of this appear. I did this one off from the shelf. Nice. Nice. It's cool stuff. It's cool stuff, these things. At the time, I was already looking forward to this thing, but they never came out, which is a pity. Probably for the best, too, at the same time. But, there I was, looking forward to it. I was like, yes, look at this thing. It's so futuristic. It's gonna be so cool and nefarious. The 20s, they had that glass thing. You looked at the pics. It was two pics on your side and made it 3D. Yeah, you just cross your eyes just enough. And you saw 3D. Yeah. Because you'd overlap the pictures, the left side and the right side. And things would just work. It was great. For the time. They were already seeing these things. Yeah, those eye cross glasses still exist. Yeah, they're fading out. Yeah, yeah. Tried to buy. What if you didn't? Nice. Nice. This is what you truly need. This is what you truly need. Look at that. Retro futurism. Look at all that retro future. Look at this face of happiness. Look at this face of happiness. They're seeing through the eyes of the robot. Yeah, you have to make the face do that. It's creepy all you want, so yeah, it kind of does look a bit creepy. Look at that retro futurism. Look at that. So good. So good. I think I've seen this video actually. This one that is here. The history of VR. Cause yeah. Oh yeah, here's that thing. The one that you put your face in. This is the one you were talking about. The sensovision, senso thingy. Sensotron, whatever. Something? Yes? This is the thing. I fired the guy who made the thing the kid was using. I know, right? It was scary as shit. That's for sure. Scary as shit. It's very okay. I think it's fascinating to see the road that VR paved progressively. And there was like this gap of many years that nothing happened. And the technology fell off because it wasn't good enough. We didn't have enough power for it. And then this one dude, Palmer Lucky, decided, I'm gonna do it myself. And, you know, and he did. And here we are today. Thanks to that dude that we have VR the way we have it now. He proved that it's possible. And people just went from there. How things change. It is. It's complete massive changes. Even when talking with my mom and stuff, even of old stuff, already was a big change. It wasn't that long ago for her. That was already a change. Yeah, just in our lifetime, things have progressed. We went from Remember those VR arcade games? Yes! We were talking about that! I showed them a moment ago. Hi, Dean. Hi, hi. Welcome, sir. I was showing this. Yep, they're here. Vintage VR. If I do this, it appears. Where was it? It was here. We saw it. This. These. These. This thing. Yeah, we were talking about this. You were showing me this stuff because we talked about, Valve and the Steam frame, and I was talking about what we know, what we don't, what we can speculate from leaks, what's in the drivers, Steam VR, and stuff. So yeah. How are you doing, Valdine? Hi hi. Good times. A shark! Oh no, a shark! Nice. Sure, I wanted to mention it, but the Unicap VR gloves, they work amazingly, though the design style scares me. Oh, it's a scary style, is it? So, you have the proper, like, finger spreading? Does it work well? For reference? Unicap VR gloves. You're wearing damn gloves. Damn gloves. Nice. Thank you. I'm just looking forward to the EOZ because they're cheaper. That's basically it. But they technically work the same. Finger spread. Curl accurate movement controls are great. Can actually navigate and shoot and browse. Nice. It's almost made his head. Nice. That's cool. I think gloves are the next big step, I think. But to detect users that stretchy material to track. Yeah, it's like I was mentioning the other day, the stretch sensors. Eventually that may tear off. Watch Flower Journey is good. Show Pan on YouTube if you like animation. Hey Johnny, hey, welcome to stream. I'll keep that in mind. Flower Journey. Wait, I think I may have seen that. That sounds familiar. I may have seen that. If it's what I think it is, it was indeed pretty great. Yep. Welcome to stream. Happens, Johnny. Yeah, the stretch stuff is complicated because you're constantly stretching it, and that's how it detects things. I mentioned this, and that's why I'm looking forward to the EOZ thing, because it has little sensors on each thing to do the calculation. It's IMUs, but they're always being auto-calibrated by the center thing, which is the device on the back of your head. Not EOZ gloves. Bees! There we go. See? We're gonna get that at this point. Technically, we have it with the Quest Pro, but no one uses it because, yes. But the Steam frame, Deckard, etc., is gonna have that. It's at the system level. It's a part of the system. You don't have to program it. It's there. So it's just flip it on and it works. Like that they don't emulate NX controllers though, but love the price. You don't need them to emulate NX controllers because they have their own thing, right? Quest 4 will whatever comes, whatever they call it, right? The name is Steam Frame now. We know the name. We know the name. Yeah, they did mention that. Because it's a big thing, foveated. We were talking earlier about foveated rendering, and I actually showed a picture for that to exemplify it. It was this foveated rendering, and I showed this picture to, demonstrate how it works. It's annoyingly indexed. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I get it. That makes sense, yeah. You can probably simulate it. If you got VR tech. Yep. Hey, Alicia, welcome to stream. Welcome to say. Hope you're doing well. Hi. Yeah, foveated rendering will be big if Meta does add it. And we know Valve is going to add it to the Steam frame. So we're good. Uh, I think I may have spent like the first 2 hours and something of the stream just talking about Steam frame and everything about Steam frame and so on and controllers. I opened Blender and I was showing the controllers. You missed it, yeah. I was showing the leaked controllers, the render models, and I was showing all of that, and there was a lot. Basically, quick summary. Now, a new leak that showed the actual production model of the thing, the finalized production model that is in Steam VR. Right now, you can access the controller models. I think they actually removed that from the beta now in an update, but for like a couple of days, you could actually, if you knew what you were looking for, you could trick the system into making your controllers be read as they were those controllers, and in the Steam VR thing, you would see those controllers appearing because they're listed as proper final production. And I have the STL files, yeah. I was showing them earlier in Blender. It was pretty fun, actually. I can show pictures because I do have pictures of the renders here also. I was showing how this is gonna work in, I'm gonna open it. Never mind. Let me open Blender. I'm gonna show something. Because we were showing also the Steam frame controllers. Let's look at this. These are not the same. These are the same. I'll show real quick here because it's okay. There's a lot to show. Quite a lot. Let me bring. So I can just. It's visually easier to show. I'll just show. Import SPL. You remember that? You remember a previous version? This is the new one. From here, right? They're massive, so they're actually not in the frame. I need to zoom out. And now we move this here. And here they are. Dun, 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 dun. The smoothing is a bit too odd, so we actually need to do this to see it correctly. Because the smoothing is too aggressive. It's more than that. I'll explain. I can see they went for this works. We're gonna go with it. But full D-pad? 4 button? No. These may have that. They probably don't right now. All of these are touch sensitive. Like the Quest ones are and the Index ones are. We don't know if there's any touchpad stuff here yet. It's 2 triggers. It's L1, R1, L2, R2. Right here. It has these. So it's very full, complete controller style. And this button, this entire panel, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It has full controls. And this panel here, if you remember on the Quest 3, this panel, you click the button, this slides out, and you put in the strap add-on. So you can have the hand strap thing. It's the same thing. It works like that. You Click button, slide it out, put in the the strap, the strap grip on it. So it's just like with the Quest 3. Uh, that's how it's gonna work. And it's powered by SteamOS, ARM. It's gonna be a Snapdragon. It's gonna be a Qualcomm CPU. We know that, so it's gonna be a Snapdragon chip. Uh, which one? We don't know. Maybe the Gen 2 XR3? Maybe the Gen 3 XR something? We don't know yet. We will see. Maybe it's something else, but it's Qualcomm. We know it's Qualcomm and ARM because SteamOS for ARM exists since May. Hopefully soon, yeah. If we go by the trademark, the Steam Frame trademark that went out, yep, I can see it either late this year, like in December, there will be a reveal, or early next year, a reveal. Because things are there, and the leak for Steam VR beta shows that they've been changing the strings of how everything is called from Steam Overlay to Steam Frame, which is very specific naming. And active frame instead of active overlay, it's all gearing up towards that. And it's essentially going to be standalone but can connect. With eye tracking, we don't know with face tracking yet. We don't know yet. Steam VR has that there, but we'll see. Making dongle for Wi-Fi. That is also mentioned. That's already confirmed. It's there. It's in the new drivers. That is being called. It's a Wi-Fi 6E dongle to be connected to your PC, and it's gonna be exclusive for the headset. That's it. A bit like the how the dongles, the tracker dongles and so on, and the index dongles and whatnot. They're essentially just Bluetooth dongles, but specific for that one thing, locked into that one thing. The dongle McDongle face. That the dongle McDongle face stuff. Just for that. That's basically how it's gonna be. But for the wireless part. And it's gonna be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm absolutely excited about this stuff. I'm expecting the price being between 1,000 to 1,200. 1,200 being a certain rumored pricing for it. If we look at this from how they did for the Steam Deck, I think they're going to do the same here. There's probably going to have multiple versions of it, some with more, some with less, because the entire thing is going to be modular, most likely. If we look at the Steam Deck as an example, even the index itself, where everything is pretty modular, I'm sure there's going to be versions that will have more thing than others. The CPU is going to be the same for all of them. I don't think there's going to be a difference in CPU and GPU performance. It's going to be like the Steam Deck. There's 3 versions of the Steam Deck, but internally, they're all the same, with RAM speed being different in the OLED model because it came out later. But ignoring that they're the same, essentially, it's probably going to be the same here. There's probably going to be like 3 versions. One basic version, one with more stuff later, or a thing with, which might be the full price of the entire thing. I can see that. Kill its own appeal with price. 1,000, 1,200. It's gonna be like that. I'm sure it's gonna be like that. Because it's gonna be quality stuff inside, with lots of features inside. Uh, I'm sure their R&D, research and development, for this stuff was massive for years. This has been in the making since the Index came out. The Index came out, they were already working on this. That's how old the Deckard is. Uh, well, the concept of the Deckard is, it's being worked on since the Index came out. We almost had a wireless index, an official wireless index. It was almost done. There's prototypes of it, but they canceled it before it came out. This was a story told by Brad from Sadly It's Bradley. That actually, we almost had a wireless index that would come out like 2 years after the normal index, but we never had it because then they canceled it. Almost finished. Packaging being made and everything. And then they were like, nah, it's not good enough. It's not advanced enough. It's just the same thing but wireless. And they cut it. They canceled it. Right as it was going to be released, they canceled it. So, you know, Valve has this thing of canceling things when they're close to coming out, which is scary for this. But Steam Frame is very specific. I think there's changes now happening, just like they happened for Index and the Steam Deck. That this one is 99% certain that it will come out as it is, and it's gonna be great and modular, so they can just keep expanding on it. And Steam OS, so it'll be like a Steam Deck on your face, or a PC on your face, whatever you want to call it. Because Steam Deck is essentially a portable PC, just Linux. So, yeah. The pricing will be the scary part. Yeah. It'll depend if people will be okay with paying for around 1,000, give or take, for a device. Will they? Will they not? You know, that's what it's going to depend on. Which can be tricky, or if they're able to. Look, I hope it comes in raccoon print. Then I can buy it. If it comes out in raccoon print, heck yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Breakfast, I'm sorry. I'm very excited about this. It's gonna be great. That's what I have here too. If only, right? If only. Oh. That'd be great. I'm fine. Technically, there's already headbands that have ears that move, using BCIs. So essentially, it's like an artificial extension of your body. But beautiful avatar making. The short squirrel. Short squirrel girl. Went over the expression layer limit. I see you've seen things, I believe it. Wait, what expression layer limit? Oh, you can do that. Yes, that can happen. Absolutely. Especially if you have face tracking and you're like half your memory is gonna be taken up with face tracking. Yep, that's normal. Thanks to face tracking, yeah, without face tracking, that's the scary part. That means you put in a lot of stuff in it. You can probably minimize it using some optimization there. VRC Fury does have a very nice compressor that works pretty well. Um, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have enough memory for a lot of things, especially in the ASMR model. I did too much in 0 for 2 3. That makes sense, yeah. I believe that. I believe that, yeah. That can really destroy memory real fast. Bulls are faster. Using bulls for stuff because just one per. I get it. I get it. You can do it. You can optimize it. You can optimize it. Maybe. Definitely use the VRC Fury compressor. It helps. It helps. A lot. You don't have face tracking, but it's like you had it. Just assume how to yet. So add a VRC Fury component and then look for compressor. And it's literally just a drag and drop thing. You put that in your the main VR thing. Just click on the main VR thing. The main avatar thing where you have your descriptor and stuff, and you can put it there. Add component, look for VRC Fury. You're going to see a lot of VRC Fury components. One is the compressor. I think it's the name. And just leave it there. That's it. It'll just work. It'll just work. It'll just naturally work on its own, essentially. It'll just naturally work on its own. Which is convenient. Very convenient. One day I should do like this stream of going through how I organize avatars after redoing some. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I made everything modular now, and the way I do my models and stuff in a specific way, that if someone actually grabs the model or even grabs my project in some way, they can't do much with it because there's no FX layers, which is funny. I have no specific FX layers except for some traces of some. They get compiled on build time. So until the model is uploaded, there isn't an FX layer on the model at all. It just gets compiled on upload. So, you know, even if someone grabs that, they won't have anything to go from. Which is fun. It's a fun thing. Nefarious, but it works, you know? It's an evil thing. I don't show my model in Blender here, but don't worry about it. One day I'll do a model from scratch or something. And show it as an example. Here's how we do things. At least how I do things. And go from there. One day. Maybe not on stream, but maybe on the Discord section. Maybe I'll share that. And show things. How it all works and stuff. Could probably work out. Maybe. You never know. You never know. Maybe one day. One can hope, right? One can hope. Uh, anyway, let me close that. And we're back here. Tuck, 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 tuck. Tuck, 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 tuck. That video is very long now. I believe it. I believe it. It's big. It's very big. What time is it? Okay, I see the time. I'm looking at the time. Okay. I'm looking at the time. We still have some time. Still have some time. But you know, it's been a fun thing. I hope y'all enjoyed the Steam frame talk. All that Steam frame. All that talk. That was a lot. I guess in total we spoke about it for 3 hours if we put together everything. Give or take, right? Give or take 3 hours of it. Which is a lot. But, you know, there was a lot to talk about. There was a lot to talk about. So it worked out. It worked out. I think it was a fun little thing to do. Okay. Conceivable. Always enjoying type code. Me too. Heck yeah. Me too. Me too. I need time to actually go back to do my game dev stuff and actually stream it. I just haven't touched it since the last stream, actually. The last game dev stream I did was the last time. Oh, Jesus, hi. Thank you for following, John Wick. Hi, hi. I can stream. Hope you're doing well. Hi, hi. Yeah, just chatting is the best. Okay. You can just talk about things and shout things and stuff. Yeah. Talk about crazy things. All the crazy things. I may do more of these. More often. And more regularly. But it's hard. Just being here and it goes fun. Yeah. I feel fun. Next week, there probably won't be too many streams this coming week now because things have been very hectic, not easy. I've not been resting or haven't had time to rest properly. Most likely this week there will only be another stream on maybe Saturday. Well, Friday is a different kind of stream. Not here. So next week will probably just be the Friday, maybe the Saturday stream. Not even sure about the Saturday stream. It'll depend. But week after, we'll be back to normal scheduling. Things have just been hectic. I've been waking up with just headaches from not resting enough. That's how it's being. Like, I'm here on stream because I took 2 painkillers to actually be here and talk about this because I really wanted to talk about this and show this. Because headache has been a thing. Non-stop. I need to rest. I think at this point, I've stretched my rope way more than I should have. And things are a thing. And I need to slow down this week and actually rest. Same, Ollie. Keep having horrific sleep, waking up with headaches and painful. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. So I really need to, like... this week I need rest. I just need rest. Very likely Tuesday I can't because I can't Monday right off the bat because I have something Monday. Tuesday you all may not see me Tuesday at all. Maybe at some point, but there's a big chance that I won't be around at all Tuesday. I'll just be sleeping the day away. Just sleeping in bed. Oh, this was a good reminder to rest I needed. I just been overworking myself with stuff. A lot of stuff. So I'm just gonna... I can tell that it's probably time to take a break because the headache is coming back. Meaning the pills are running out. Because I can feel the pulsing headache of stress and tiredness coming back. Which is not fun. But you know. Don't worry, man. Yeah, I'm basically feeling it now. It's coming back now. It was numb enough that I didn't feel it till now, essentially. But it's still there. So I may have to do that and just rest. Oh, the screensaver kicked in. Hear the screensaver. It's evil. Oh my god, that face. Oh, that emote. That emote. I will definitely try that and get some massive amounts of sleep. But Tuesday definitely. I think I'm just gonna Tuesday is gonna be sleep day. Your ancient moon emote. Yep. I remember it quite well. I remember it quite well. I just need like this week is just gonna be resting, ignoring the Friday stream that is gonna happen somewhere. Yeah, hibernation day is gonna be Tuesday. Tuesday is gonna be my hibernation day. I'm just gonna like pass the fuck out. That's all that's gonna happen. Gonna hibernate, pass it. That's it. At least Tuesday is gonna be that, and then see what happens. Hi, Tigers. Hi. Nice music. Thank you. Why did you like it? Where is this one from? Oh, it's from Thunder Force. That was for Thunder Force 3. This one's from Thunder Force 4. Have a day well, Tigers. Thank you for being here. Hi. I got Sam. Hi. I got Steve. Hope you're doing well. You know, I've good synthwave music going on. You know, all these evil things and the fairy things. With my little music player over there. Music player. You know what's the funny part? Oh, have a good rest, Godson. Thank you for being here. You know what's the funny part? That's actually running on a Sega Genesis over there. That's the funny part. It's emulated, but it's actually a Sega Genesis / Mega Drive doing the sounds. This is that kind of music. I like that kind of music. Synth music, FM sounds, specifically from the Yamaha chip that this thing runs on. I love the Yamaha chip from FM sound. It's just so cool. What can I say? You can see all the channels just booming there. It's an evil thing. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I think I will take this cue because it's now 7 a.m. for me. 3 hours and a half of stream. I apologize that this would have been 4 hours. So normie music again, you know. Nope, nope, nope. Uh, it would have been 4 hours of stream if I didn't have a few issues that I started the stream an hour later than intended. So I apologize about that. So it's 3 hours and a half. But I hope everyone enjoyed the tech talk, and there was like 3 hours of it. Let's see. Heck yeah. We talked a lot of nerdy stuff and geeky stuff and geeked out about technology, VR in this case. We essentially just talked about that. Hi, Pika. Hi. I'm gonna end the stream. You were right at the end. And thank you, Nanu. Thank you. You know what? That's the best feeling. Yeah, just chilling. You know, just vibing about stuff and going at it. Yeah. That's what I like doing, you know? Like these things. I didn't even cheat. Yeah, chilling and nerding out is the best thing. It's definitely the best thing. You know, and sharing my crazy things. And chilling and sharing my stuff and all the tech things I like and pixel art and VR and retro things and yes. Like I've said in the stream recently, there's been way too many things that I've been afraid of doing on stream. Because of thinking no one is gonna be interested in stuff. Fuck that, you know. I'm now at the point that I'm essentially just saying, fuck it. There we go, 255, 256, heck yeah. Buy one, buy one. I'm at the point that I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do things I like and it doesn't matter. I've already done things I like. I never did anything I didn't. But I was hiding some because I thought no one's gonna be interested. You know what? I'm gonna show it anyway. I'm gonna compress it. You can do it! But anyway, with that said, thank you all for being here. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. Because I love talking about this stuff. I don't know. Thank you all for being here. I love y'all. Thank you all for the support. Bye bye. Yay. Bye everyone. Where's the button? It's